Our next question: could the story of Baldur's death be a warning of the dangers of overprotecting one's children? If she hadn't made everything promise not to hurt him, he wouldn't have felt invulnerable, and no one would have thrown anything at him. Is this a good or a bad way to interpret the story? What do you think, Svan?
The path you take to avoid your fate often brings you to it. And this is, again, I think this is an interesting debate amongst the folk in relation to willful action and or fatalism, as it's often referred to on the other side, where, it doesn't matter what you do, your fate is your fate. And other, or is it a certain mixture of will and fate and things like that? I think that also was part of the real drive of the story. And so I think it's ultimately a warning about in the face of danger, we laugh oftentimes. I think culturally, for most people on this call will know like what I mean by we laugh in the face of danger. We meet our end smiling and we go forth in glory. And that is culturally an aspect of our lives. This is kind of saying be careful about hubris versus thumos. And I'm using the Greek words because those are a little bit easier to kind of like allocate on the internet if you look up, and again, that's very Hellenic too. So there's an overarching concept of thumos is about bravery and about honor and about living a bright life. Hubris is when you take it too far and you fail wisdom. And so, courageousness tempered by wisdom is thumos. And courageousness without it is hubris in a lot of ways. So, I would say it would be a warning. I don't know if it's necessarily a warning to a mother, again, but the overall arching point of the story is that we must do all that we can because the option to do nothing was seen far worse. So do all that you can. But when the gods are throwing things at Baldur, that is definitely a painting of that kind of hubris moment that allows for the deceitfulness of Loki to sneak in, to find the blind and to guide his hand. And he searched for the gentle mistletoe, that frail and tiny and joyous piece, the child of the oak. And the one thing that wouldn't do any harm does the greatest harm. There's a lot of things we can see in like the Grimm fairy tales and even in like Slavic lore and Hellenic lore. There's a lot of that, those